I the only one? Yeah.
When I'm playing music, I tell people I'm an actor, and when I'm acting in something, I tell people that I'm a musician, just for the sheer purpose of making sure nobody can pin me as one or the other. I believe that they are, although they do different things, they use the same functions and they use the same wiring. So I don't know, I'll never be able to answer that question. I'm definitely both, and I will always try to make people not be able to, you know, take me as one or the other. I always want to be doing the other thing, so.
Am I the only one? Yeah.
That's a very difficult question to answer because, one, I don't know when I'll have the time to finish one, and second of all, I'm always writing, so the material keeps changing, so I don't know what it's going to sound like. The main project of making an album will not be to create new music, but to curate what the best collection will be, much like any art museum. You know, if you have a lot of art, how do you make it cohesive and how do you make it make the most sense? So at this point, I don't know. There's a few new songs that I took on tour because I wanted to see how people responded to them, and based on the reaction, I might put them on the album, but I don't know. I don't have a release date or any idea what it's going to sound like. I just hope that it's soonish. I hope it's soon, and I hope that it's going to sound like fun. But that's my hope. That's not what's going to happen. Who knows? It could be terrible, and it could be years from now.
Am I original? Yeah. Am I the only?
Oh yeah, of course, of course. I've always been a pop music fan, so I was never that kid that secretly liked the Backstreet Boys or felt like I had to defend myself. I was always very loud and open about the music that I liked because I liked everything. I had my Backstreet Boys and NSYNC albums right next to my Nirvana and Soundgarden. I didn't find that weird. I kind of liked it if people thought that was strange. Later in life, that would be called eclectic, and I guess it's more celebrated than it was when you were a kid, so I'm glad I stuck to my guns. But yeah, I always loved the Backstreet Boys. That first album, man, was great.
What do you think, actually, of the return of the boys band phenomenon?
It's not a return. The boy band phenomenon will always be around because there will always, always, always be teenage girls. It's just how it works. 10 years from now, there will be a new, well, you know, there was the Beatles and the Beach Boys, and then you have every generation, and they just take on different forms, whether it be all of a sudden there's the Bee Gees, then all of a sudden there is Duran Duran, then all of a sudden there's New Kids on the Block, and then there's the Backstreet Boys, then NSYNC, and then Jonas Brothers. And there's always One Direction, there's always going to be the new group, and all of us would, you know, one day, I hope it's a long day, long time from now, but I'll have kids or grandkids that will listen to something that, you know, they will have never experienced before, and I'll go, well, it's just like One Direction. No, it's not. One Direction's old. But that's how it'll happen, you know. It's just the cycle of music and of pop culture, because for teenagers, that's the first time they experience that kind of frenzy. So there's always going to be no lack of teenagers to bring the boy band or girl band thing back to the world.
Am I original? Yeah. Am I the
Bien sûr. Yesterday I did a concert yesterday at Nouveau Casino à Paris. Et je chante aux Champs-Élysées, je me baladais sur l'avenue. Au soleil, sur le pli, au midi ou à minuit. Il a tout ce que vous voulez aux Champs-Élysées. Jodassin, and then mostly jazz, Parisian jazz, Django Reinhardt, and all the standards, Edith, and who else? There's a lot of great French music that I love. A lot of great Parisian bands who are now big world bands. You know, Teemix and Daft Punk are obviously massive world bands, but once upon a time they were just Parisian bands. But yeah, a lot of French music, a lot of my favorite music. It's funny when people study in the United States, they'll have like French cafe music, which is basically just, you know, Parisian jazz. So yeah, I love. It's one of my favorite languages to sing in. That's for sure.
Oh, God! Someone's in here!
Sorry.
What are you doing in my room?
Actually, this is my room.